Oh, hey, you're over here. Hey, hi.
They say your early life romance game.
All right, we got confirmation. We can tune the all-wheel drive Stinger on the dyno with the front drive line disconnected. So it's a really bright day out here. Here we got it. The all-wheel drive is a bone stock car. Getting on the dyno, doing some tune testing today, gonna do some 14 PSI, 18 PSI testing. What we did find that was interesting, I'm gonna spin around here again. Okay, so here's what we found. I can get it to focus. Oh, there we go. Lots of shadows getting casted. So what we got 14 PSI on the all-wheel drive car. We found that was a little interesting. I'm going to go through, tear into the ECU, see what we got going on. As you can see, it's 351 horsepower and 378 foot-pounds of torque. Looks like it was a little bit more. At 394 foot-pounds for fourth gear pull up top. Very little fall off. So we're going to be getting around to tuning this today. We're going to throw some intakes on it and get some bone stock car testing, some GT2 all-wheel drive car. Stay tuned. Okay guys, so we were tuning the all-wheel drive and my phone died and it caused some problems and some frustration, so we ordered a camera. So a camera will be coming. What I'm going to show you were the results from that night. So here we've got our baseline. At 344, 370 at 14 pounds of boost. We do have it set to SAE. So you guys, a lot of people have been asking for SAE. So we've got SAE. As you can see, boost is falling off at red line, something that we're still working on. So I think we got like 8 pounds of boost at red line. Something I do want to make mention of. The GT2, the all-wheel drive cars, appear to run a little bit more boost, about 2 pounds of boost. So I will go over that in a different section or at a different time with a different video to show the differences between the GT1 and the GT and the GT2, the rear-wheel drive car versus the all-wheel drive car, because there are some definite differences inside the ECU that we want to make mention of. So factory GT2 car runs 14 pounds of boost. With our intake testing, took a lot of adaptive time. We had to really run the dog crap out of the car in order to get it to adapt. Something like 4 or 5 pulls in order for it to get to adapt. Adaptions are pretty good. 344 versus 357, 370, 380. Not much picked up at initial full throttle. I'm going to assume simply because torque limits are intervening, but power is pretty decent all the way across the curve. Yeah, 13 horsepower, give or take. I mean, I'm sure I could probably find a spot like right here where we picked up 15 horsepower. So 15 horsepower with the intakes isn't bad. What did we get there? 15 horsepower there. So about 15 horsepower. Again, boost levels maintain pretty even. Again, falling off up top. Again, working on that. So what I do want to show you is the intakes and tune results. Come down here. We were really happy with this. Okay, so this is the 18 PSI tune on the GT2, the all-wheel drive. As you can see, 18 PSI, if you can see that. 18.5 pounds of boost. There's your boost curve. Got a holding boost pretty good out to red line. Again, that little small drop off, not going to worry about that too much. But here's what's notable. 402 versus 343. A 60 horsepower gain right at 6,100. Torque gains are about the same. Got a little bobble right here. That little bobble we suspect is probably from cap protection. There's no boost in reference to that bobble. So we're suspecting probably something to do with exhaust temp protection or something in the intercooler. Since we are running the factory intercooler, we've got some restrictions going on there. So that is what you got. So for SAE, 402 horsepower, 426 foot-pounds of torque. We're bringing the boost on very gradual. As you can see, we're not just bringing all the boost in right at the beginning. The inner factory intercooler is a restriction. We got to be careful with that. And we have a pretty linear gain of boost through most of the curve. That is the stage 1 on an intake-only car. This is intakes, nothing else. Intake and tune. Oh, sorry, I should mention we did put the HKS 45 spark plugs in, and let me show you why. Let me show you why we put the HKS spark plugs in. Because you know what? I'm probably not going to be able to find it. Oh! There it was. See that? See that nice, nasty dip? We had some spark plug breakup. Spark plugs broke up a little bit. So I was hitting a little bit harder with the boost early on, trying to bring the boost on a little bit more aggressive. I do want to share one thing with you guys. We did some testing. And let me see if I can find the testing. So before we put the intakes on, yeah. Okay, so we were doing a little bit of testing, map indexing, stuff of this nature. So what I want you guys to notice is that's 401 horsepower. But that's 401 horsepower at 4,900 RPM. So just so you can get an idea, when we're doing the testing, that is our final pull. 18 psi. Now we were running when we were doing the testing. We did hit 22 psi, but what I want you to make note of is we are up 18 horsepower, 20 horsepower, give or take, at an additional 4 pounds of boost with no ignition timing added. Yes, that is correct. You heard that. No ignition timing was added on that pull. That was boost only. The car did get cranky, and that's why we lifted. We didn't want to push it too hard. 22 pounds of boost is going to be an interesting tune once we get the cats deleted on the shop car. Again, this was just some testing we were doing with the GT2. I want to thank everyone for signing in, watching the video, getting some of the results. I know some of these videos can ramble on for a while. I want to make sure I'm giving you all the information you need. Please, 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 if you like the video content, comment, give us a thumbs up, and if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Thanks, guys.